Hello, this is Tiffany Dell, and I'm watching that guy in the Firebird.
Coming up in today's video. Now I do need to be on my best behaviour because the last time I ran into them, I kind of ended up in the back of one of their cars. Well, I knew it was just a matter of time before we ran into some imperial entanglements. This thing is amazing. Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm at the Concorde Classics Car Show in my hometown of Eastleigh in Hampshire. Now if last year is anything to go by, we're in for a real treat. So you know the drill, stick around, ride shotgun with me. I'm Stuart McLachlan and as always you can call me that guy in the Firebird. Let's go and explore. Great to see Sporting Bears Car Club here. I've talked about them in previous videos. It's a great concept. You pay a donation and you get to go for a drive, well, to be driven in a dream car. And as you can see, there's a fine selection here today. It's no secret, long-term viewers of my channel will know that the Ferrari F40 is my favourite car of all time, and seeing one in the flesh doesn't disappoint. This thing is amazing. Not only is it my favourite car, in my humble opinion it's the most beautiful car ever built. This car will always be cool in my opinion, the Knight Industries 2000. KITT for easy reference, or KIT if you prefer.
No, I don't prefer, and what's more, I don't intend to drive around in a car that talks back to me.
You may have seen my recent video where I talk about the new Knight Rider movie that's being planned. If you haven't, I'll put a link in the description. I'm not too sure if it needs to be rebooted. The original was very special, as you can clearly see. Well, I knew it was just a matter of time before we ran into some imperial entanglements. Here's something special for all of you Top Gear fans. I know that a number of you follow my channel. I don't normally get excited by a Vauxhall Astra, especially one with a 1.6 litre engine. But this one's quite special as it was used in the show for the feature they called Stars in a Reasonably Priced Car. And here are some of the celebrities who have driven this car. It's quite the lineup. Look who I bumped into. It's legendary race car driver, TV personality, Tiffany Dell. Hi Tiff.
Hi, good to see you here.
Yes, and
wonderful,
you.
Wonderful.
It's really good of you to come out and support this event.
Well, it's a local event and a very good local charity, so I'm very happy to be here in the sunshine looking at car lovers and looking after Naomi House. Naomi House is just a wonderful charity that everybody needs to support if they live anywhere near Southampton, Winchester, Stockbridge, this area.
Absolutely, and of course all of the money raised at this show is donated to Naomi House and Jacksplace, so it's a very worthy cause. Do you get to go to many car shows?
Not many. I came to the other one at Eastleigh at the beginning of this year, so it's just local, for local charities. And I like to meet car enthusiasts and just wander in for a couple of hours and wandering around, look at the cars that bring memories. Morris Thousands I learnt to drive in, and old family cars. It's just great to see them here.
It's funny, I mean, when I started driving, which was in the late 90s, some of the cars which were everywhere, and now it shows.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't particularly interesting when they were new, but now they are, because you don't see them so much, you know. What do you think car shows are going to be like in the future? Are we going to be restoring Teslas in 30 years' time?
No, because they won't work, the batteries will all be dead, but it's more when you look under the bonnets of cars that people love the old petrol engine machines. And this will be the car shows for the next 100 years probably, because people will keep these going because they're so loved. And you can do so much with them. You know, you've got gearboxes to change and gearboxes to rebuild, and engines the same, whereas all you have to do with your Tesla is put a new load of batteries in it and it'll be fine for another 20 years. But I don't think the enthusiasm for cars will continue as much as it is now.
No, things are changing already, aren't they? You know, and I don't know about you, but modern cars all look the same to me. Would you agree?
Well, they're all getting too SUV and too big. They're all big, fat, especially electric cars, of course. They're all about 2 meters wide because they have to put the batteries on the floor and they're higher up sitting with the batteries under the floor. And they're very incredibly complex things, modern electric cars. In fact, these old petrol cars are very simple, you know, to work on and fix and restore, which is why I think the longevity will go for more than an electric car, which, if you want to try and rebuild it, it's going to be a lot of work.
Of course, yeah. Tiff, you're a gentleman. Thank you so much for talking to me. Okay. I really appreciate it.
Nice to be here. I should wander around a bit more. Okay. Cheers. All right.
So, as you probably know, I love TV and movie cars. They're so eccentric and the creativity is wild. Here we have a very famous example. It's Herbie the Love Bug, owned by Jamie Lowe. Hi, Jamie.
Hi there.
Thank you so much for bringing this out today. I imagine this has got quite a bit of attention.
Yes, today he's had a lot of attention today at Concorde Classics. Partly down to him interacting with the crowd, and
now this car can do some quite wild things. Do you want to talk me through what it can do?
Yep. So he's a car with personality. So he interacts with everyone. He'll beep at people and talk to them that way. He'll wink at them by flashing. His doors will open depending where you're stood.
Yeah.
And his bonnet will go up and down. And if you tell him, if you say to him, "Who's a good boy?" he even waggles his number plate.
Oh, that's hilarious. And I imagine that must catch some people by surprise if they're just walking past. They might think, "Oh yeah, it's a VW Beetle, I've seen loads of those," and then it does something like you've described.
Very much so, yes, yeah. And certainly the little kids that don't necessarily know who Herbie is, but even some of the older people that, as you say, "Oh, it's just a Volkswagen," and as they walk up to it, the door opens to welcome them in.
Well, it's brilliant fun and ideal for a family-friendly event such as this. Thank you so much for bringing it. I'm sure it's put smiles on many faces today.
It's been brilliant. Thank you very much.
It's always good fun when these South Coast cop cars make an appearance, and as you can see, they are out in force today. Now, I do need to be on my best behaviour because the last time I ran into them, I kind of ended up in the back of one of their cars. Oh, the whole thing was a misunderstanding, of course. I was innocent. Behind every car show is great leadership, and I think Concorde Classics is a good example of that. I'm here with Rob Hurd, MBE, by the way. Congratulations on that.
Well, that's very kind of you, but I always say with the MBE, things like that, it's not just me who's received it, it's all the other people who are behind it, and I always supportive, and it's a recognition for, it's under road safety, which I got my MBE for, and that is for lots of other people who have lost their loved ones. That's what's motivated me.
That's right. I understand you used to be a police officer.
Yeah, so I was in the police for 30 years, 27 of them roads policing traffic. Bit of a petrol head, like my cars and motorbikes, you know, roading bikes and cars. And in fact, that's exactly why we run car shows like this today, because I always have been along to car shows myself. I have a replica AC Cobra I take along, which I love to bits, and I enjoy going to shows. And as a result of that, I thought, you know what, ought to run one ourselves.
that leads me on to my next question. How did it all start? How did Concorde Classics start? Did you just wake up one day and think, I'm going to go for it? Did you, how complicated was it?
Well, it's been our 16th year running this show,
Yep.
and actually the very first show, it was actually a group of people coming together at the Concorde Club where we were networking in businesses. And they basically, one of the groups that came along that was from Ferrari Owners Club, and they basically thought, well, actually, what could we do? Now, I was a member of the Ferrari Owners Club. I was actually the regional organizer of Ferrari Owners Club. And they came to me because they said, oh, you're a good organizer. Why about organising this show? So we started off very small,
Yep.
few collected cars, and now it's grown into this huge car, which takes me about a year of organising every year.
Absolutely. I mean, I registered for my car back in January, I think
Yeah.
it was, so as soon as you're done, I suppose you're planning for
Yeah,
next year
absolutely.
straight away.
I always have to say that we take bookings from January because
Yeah.
I like to have that break from September to December where I can have some time
Yeah.
off and start beginning the year.
I think you deserve a bit of a break, for all your hard work. Rob, finally, for you personally, what do you enjoy the most about the whole process of putting this show on, from the the early stages of organising and planning and contacting people, and actually having the show on the day? What's the thing that you look forward to the most?
Well, the thing that I look forward to the most is seeing the smiling faces. We've seen today people going out in that Pagani, winning a raffle ride out in that, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's been superb. The smiling faces of the kids, the families coming here, enjoying the cars and coming away and actually raising money for Naomi House Children's Hospice. That is why I set the show up, really. That's why we've carried on for 16 years, because every penny goes to Naomi House Children's Hospice. We don't take
Yeah.
anything. I put a huge amount of my own money. A lot of our volunteers in the committee are putting their own money into running this show, but it's because we really see the value of Naomi House and Jacksplace Children's
Of
Hospice.
course. And how much do you think you've raised in total over the whole 16 years?
Well, the last 15 years we've raised just under £150,000 we've
Wow.
raised. So this year I'm hoping,
Yeah.
next few days I'm hoping, once we total everything up, that would be over 160,000. Most years we raise around about 11 to 12,000 pounds. Best show we ever had was 15,000 pounds we raised.
Fantastic,
So I'm
yeah.
hoping we'll see how it goes. We've had
Yeah.
a really good weather today. We've had a load of people coming through the gate, and therefore let's just hope that we've got a really good outcome.
Absolutely. So if you would like to know more about Concorde Classics, perhaps you've been watching this video and you think, hey, I'd like to exhibit my car, head over to the website www.concordeclassics.co.uk. I hope I got that right.
You have, absolutely.
Well, that's the end of my Concorde Classics video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please do remember to support Naomi House. Well, I'm sorry I can't stick around any longer. I've got to go because I'm in trouble with the law. Again.
Cool. Time to get you out of here.
This is all a misunderstanding. I didn't do anything wrong.
Thank you for coming. Another NG Roadster, beautiful in green.
It's a four-stroke bike. He's just driven off towards the Horseshoe Pub. He'll come out there any second now. It's 3 up. Yeah, 321 is going down the lane. It's going to come out on the A420 by the Station Master Pub. Stand by.